Today we dive into the powerful story of Jacob, one of the great patriarchs of the Bible. Jacob's journey is a story of struggle, transformation, and ultimately, God's blessing. Jacob was the son of Isaac and Rebekah, and the grandson of Abraham, the man to whom God promised a great nation. Genesis 25:19-21. From the very beginning, Jacob's life was marked by conflict. Even in his mother's womb, Jacob and his twin brother Esau wrestled with each other. When the time came for them to be born, Esau came out first, but Jacob followed immediately after, grasping Esau's heel. Genesis 25:24-26. That is why he was given the name Jacob, which means supplanter or heel grabber. As the boys grew, Esau became a skilled hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob preferred staying near the tents. Genesis 25:27. Their parents showed favoritism. Isaac loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Genesis 25:28. This favoritism led to tension and division in the family. One day Jacob took advantage of his brother's hunger. Esau returned from the field exhausted and starving, and Jacob offered him a bowl of stew, but only in exchange for his birthright, the special inheritance given to the firstborn son. Genesis 25:29-34. Carelessly, Esau agreed, selling his birthright for a simple meal. Later, with his mother Rebekah's help, Jacob also deceived his father Isaac. As Isaac grew old and blind, he prepared to bless Esau. But Jacob disguised himself as his brother, wearing Esau's clothes and covering his arms with goat skin so he would feel hairy like Esau. Isaac was tricked, and he gave Jacob the blessing that was meant for Esau. Genesis 27:18-29. When Esau discovered the deception, he was furious and planned to kill Jacob. Fearing for his life, Jacob fled to the home of his uncle Laban. Genesis 27:41-45. On his journey, Jacob stopped for the night and had a dream that would change his life. He saw a ladder reaching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. At the top stood the Lord, who spoke to Jacob, reaffirming the promise he made to Abraham, that Jacob's descendants would be as numerous as the dust of the earth, and through them all nations would be blessed. Genesis 28:10-15. When Jacob woke up, he declared, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." He called that place Bethel, meaning house of God. Genesis 28:16-19. In Laban's household, Jacob worked for many years. He fell in love with Rachel, Laban's younger daughter, and agreed to work 7 years to marry her. But Laban tricked Jacob and gave him Leah, the older daughter, instead. Jacob had to work another 7 years to marry Rachel, the woman he truly loved. Genesis 29:16-28. Despite the hardships, Jacob grew wealthy and had many children, 12 sons, who would later become the 12 tribes of Israel. Genesis 29-30. After many years, Jacob prepared to return home, but he feared meeting Esau again, worried that his brother still wanted revenge. Genesis 32:6-7. On the night before their meeting, Jacob was left alone, and he wrestled with a mysterious man until daybreak. Genesis 32:24. This was no ordinary man. It was a divine encounter, often understood as wrestling with God himself or an angel of the Lord. The man touched Jacob's hip and wrenched it, leaving him with a limp. Genesis 32:25. But Jacob refused to let go, saying, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man then gave him a new name, Israel, meaning, he struggles with God. Genesis 32:26-28. This marked Jacob's transformation, from a deceiver who relied on his own schemes, to a man who wrestled with God and received his blessing. When Jacob finally met Esau, something unexpected happened. Instead of anger, Esau ran to Jacob and embraced him, forgiving the years of betrayal. Genesis 33-4. The two brothers reconciled, showing how God's plan can bring healing even after deep conflict. Jacob lived many more years, and before his death he blessed his sons, speaking prophecies over their future. Genesis 49:1-28. Among them, he declared that kings would come from the line of Judah. Genesis 49:10. A prophecy that pointed directly to the coming of Jesus Christ, the Lion of Judah. The story of Jacob is a powerful reminder of God's grace. Though Jacob began as a deceiver, God shaped him through trials, struggles, and encounters with his presence. In the end, Jacob became Israel, the father of the nation through which God would send his son to save the world. Jacob's journey teaches us that God can take imperfect people, even those who stumble, and transform them for his purpose. Through struggle, through faith, and through God's mercy, Jacob's life became a testimony to the truth that the Lord is faithful to his promises.